Hi, my name is Griselda, and I am not just a student of food science. I am also someone who has embarked on a journey of discovery, one that has profoundly changed my perspective on food, its significance in our lives, and its pivotal role in shaping our communities. My fascination with food science began in my undergraduate years, where I delved into the theoretical aspects without fully grasping the practical implications. Yes, it was intriguing, but it was somewhat distant from the everyday reality of what ends up in our plates. It wasn't until I started with my postgraduate studies that food science truly came alive for me. Suddenly, the theories and concepts I studied were no longer confined to textbooks and lectures, but rather they manifested in my daily life and shaped the way I viewed and interacted with food. South Africa, with its rich tapestry of cultures and cuisines, provided a perfect backdrop for this awakening. Our diverse heritage influences not only the food that we eat, but also the way that we approach food science as a whole. Each culture brings its own unique traditions and culinary practices, which in turn impact research and innovation in the field. For me, this cultural diversity has been a constant source of inspiration, pushing me to explore beyond conventional boundaries and embrace the wealth of local produce and traditions. However, I have also encountered challenges that highlight the stark realities of food accessibility and affordability, particularly in urban centers like Pretoria. During the COVID-19 lockdown, when part time work dried up and finances became tight, the struggle to afford nutritious food became all too real for too many students. Like many, I faced the dilemma of choosing between what was affordable and what was nutritionally adequate. At one point, I found myself relying heavily on starches for their affordability and filling nature, only to realize later on the toll that it took on my health and well being. It was a stark reminder of the food insecurity that plagues not just students, but South Africa as a whole. Various food programs are available to help with this. However, navigating these programs can be fraught with guilt, especially when so many others are in more dire circumstances. This dilemma places me in what is often termed as the missing middle, not being affluent enough to sustain yourself comfortably, yet not being eligible for sufficient government support. It's a precarious position that many students find themselves in, silently grappling with issues of pride and practicality. Amidst these personal challenges, I've also witnessed firsthand the resilience and resourcefulness within our communities. South Africans have a strong culture of doing it yourself, which extends beyond DIY projects to encompass sustainable practices in everyday life. This ethos has motivated me to find creative solutions to food waste, such as using slightly bruised fruits in warm curries or experimenting with different preservation techniques for vegetables. These small actions not only reduce waste, but also contribute to a more sustainable food system, one that aligns with our cultural values of resourcefulness and respect for nature. But while personal initiatives are important, I recognize the need for broader systemic changes and local innovations in food science. Despite the wealth of culinary traditions and natural resources in South Africa, there remains a gap in translating scientific knowledge into practical solutions that benefit our communities directly. We have yet to fully harness the potential of indigenous ingredients or develop technologies that address local food security and sustainability challenges. This gap presents both a challenge and an opportunity for aspiring food scientists such as myself to bridge the divide between theory and practice and to spearhead innovations that are rooted in our unique cultural context. Looking forward, my vision for food science in South Africa is one of integration and empowerment. I envision a future where scientific knowledge is not only taught in classrooms, but also applied in kitchens and fields across the country. I hope to see a greater emphasis on local produce and traditional foods, celebrating the diversity of flavors and nutritional benefits that they offer. By embracing our cultural heritage and exploring new frontiers in food science, we can create a more resilient and inclusive food system. In conclusion, my journey into food science has been a deeply personal and transformative experience. It has opened my eyes to the complexities of our food systems, from the intricacies of food production to the challenges of food accessibility. It has inspired me to advocate for change, both within myself and within my community, to strive for a future where food science not only enriches our understanding, but also enhances our lives in tangible and meaningful ways.